Good evening. My name is Susan Beals, and I am the Commissioner of Elections for the Commonwealth of Virginia. I wanted to thank the media for their coverage of this event, for being at all three of our briefings this evening, and for getting the information that we have given you today out to voters. The polls have closed, and we are gathering results from precincts across the Commonwealth. I would like to reiterate my thanks to the thousands of poll workers across Virginia who helped their fellow Virginians vote today. We could not have done it without you. Thank you to our registrars, our electoral board members, and the voters. Thank you for turning out and participating today in the November 2024 presidential election. We had a very smooth election in Virginia today, thanks to the experience of our election officials. Looking forward, we wanted to talk to you about some of the upcoming dates that you can expect other events to happen associated with the election in terms of the reporting of results. Tomorrow morning, we're going to start with the canvass, which is when our electoral boards in every locality are going to meet to go back through the results of the election, the results tapes and all of the materials from the election to double check those results. During the canvass period, they're also going to be adjudicating provisional ballots from same-day registrations that came in. That includes the registrar determining the eligibility of those voters, registering them, and then passing that over to the electoral board to count those ballots. We have some of these important dates listed on the screen over here for you. On the week of November 18th, well, first on November 15th, that is the deadline by which our locals will report their results to the State Board of Elections. So that is November 15th on that Friday. On Monday, November 18th, the State Board of Elections is going to meet to determine the congressional race that will receive a post-election audit. We're going to have two post-election audits during the week of November 18th. One, the U.S. Senate race will receive a risk-limiting audit that every locality across the state is going to participate in. And then two, one congressional district is going to be chosen at random to also have a risk-limiting audit during the week of November 18th. So again, that's going to be decided on Monday, November 18th during a State Board of Elections meeting. On December 2nd, the State Board of Elections is going to meet to certify the results of the presidential election and all of the elections that occurred today. And then on December 17th is when Virginia will hold its electoral college in the Capitol, and that is when the electors will meet and vote for president and vice president. Their certificates will then be sent and counted by Congress on January 6, 2025, and then the president will be inaugurated on January 20th. So that gives you an idea of what the next 6 weeks or so are going to look like for us. In terms of other issues that occurred today at the polls that we wanted to make you aware of, there is just one that we wanted to talk about. There was a fire alarm that was pulled at the Arlington Precinct 150. That's the Crystal Plaza precinct. They evacuated the building and they continued voting outside. And their voters continued voting through 7 o'clock, and then they closed the polls. We have had some longer lines today at some of our college towns that have college campuses on them, but we have checked with all of those registrars, and they have indicated to us that all of those students have been served, and there currently are no lines, if anyone else waiting to be served in those areas. And with that, I would be happy to answer your questions. So that should not impact results coming out tonight, because a same-day registration ballot does not go into the voting machine today. It goes back to the registrar's office, where the registrar determines whether or not that individual is eligible to be registered, and then the electoral board would meet sometime next week to decide whether or not to count that ballot. So it should not affect the consolidated results that are being reported this evening. Anyone who voted same-day registration, those results will be reflected in the totals that are reported to the state on November 15th.
Yeah, Nick Gilmore with WVTF Radio IQ. Do you have a question? All right, moving on to Tracy Cooper. Do you have a question?
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask if there have been any unexpected issues this evening that have delayed the tallying of results, or whether everything has gone as smoothly as possible.
We've seen our registrars reporting results right away, so we aren't aware of any issues that are impacting anyone from reporting results.
The FBI has not released saying there were bomb threats in several states traced back to email addresses or Russian domains. Was Virginia a victim of that at all? Or?
We did not receive any bomb threats in Virginia today.
Caroline Tucker with NBC Universal.
Hi, how are you doing? Can you tell us any more information about the fire alarm that was pulled in Arlington County and how long voters had been evacuated for? Any other details surrounding that?
I'm sorry, but I've told you everything that we know about it. It did happen towards the end of the day today, so I believe it was maybe in the 6 o'clock hour, so it was almost at the end of the day of voting. So the updates to those numbers are just going to be the results that you're seeing come in tonight as localities are reporting those individually from their precincts.
Denise Lavoie, do you have a question? Alex Brian Campos. Elizabeth Byer. And 13 News Now.
I'm from 13 News Now. I already asked my question. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Have there been any changes coming out of Southwest Virginia post-Helene? Were there any issues from that region?
So when Helene went through Southwest Virginia, I believe that the early voting operations in 1 or 2 counties went down for about a day, but they were back up the next day. All right, thank you again, everyone, for your time and for being with us today. And again, thank you so much to our registrars and our electoral boards and our officers of election, and most of all to our voters. Thanks so much.